Up, you there already? Set. Oh, well managed. Up, recover your position. Set. Right hands. Break.
Welcome to E10 Extra. It's been all change in E10 since we were last together, and Jobi McAnuff picked up his first 3 points in charge as interim manager on Tuesday night against Grimsby. But in this week's show, we're going to be catching up with Orient defender and goal scorer on Tuesday night, Happe. We'll also be hearing from Jobi McAnuff's first press conference as Orient interim manager. We'll also be taking a deep dive into Exeter's recent form and what we can expect from this Saturday's game. But first, let's take a closer look back on how that 1-0 victory unfolded against Grimsby Town.
From white to red, high knees, nice and bottom. Section one from the left hand side, let's go, come on, open up. Finish, just only up.
Good evening and welcome to Level 5. Number 44, Jay Eastwood, number 3, Joe Bunny, number 6 from Walker.
Touch and finish, touch and finish. Yes, move. Come on, go ahead. So easy wants it back. Hey, come on! Yes, start here! Hey! Start here! Be done! How long, Greg? Wait, hold on! Greg! How long, please?
Are the visitors, and it's a very hot kick-off, so we shall reconvene there. Stevie's 3 points. Good.
Oh, Happe! A little bit here. Yeah. There you go.
Just give us a test. Will give us a question from Trist. Just get him going.
Hello, Dan Happe. How did you find the performance on the weekend? Yeah, man, it was good. Get yourself home, Jimmy.
Dan, massive win last night and important to put an end to a bad run of form.
Yeah, it was a bad run of form, you know. Didn't win in 7 games. So to get a good away performance, a solid away performance, was very good from the boys.
And you come on to the game in unusual circumstances. It looked like a really horrible injury to Adam Thompson.
Yeah, I want a speedy recovery for Tomo, but and also it's never nice to come on as a defender so early into a game. But I thought once I did come on, I thought I put my foot down and had a good performance.
Chipping in with the winning goal as well.
Yes, always rare for me to score, but when it does come about, I enjoy it. And but most importantly, that the 3 points at the end of the day.
Not just 3 points, but a clean sheet as well for the defenders.
Yeah, it's always nice to get a clean sheet. That's the 12th one for this season. So, as I said, always nice and defensively solid, and hopefully we'll take that on to Saturday.
And looking at the back five there, particularly at Joe Woodson and Jamie Turley, who haven't had many minutes this season, big game for them.
Yeah, they've come in, they've put in a solid performance. You know, I thought Joe played very well last night. 1v1 defending was quality, and Turley's always a leader at the back, and leads the back line very well. So, yeah, it's good for him. And
Jobi McAnuff has been a teammate of yours, and he's now the gaffer. How have you found the first few days?
Yeah, you know, he's said what he wants. He's demanding standards from us, and all we could do is follow them, really, and take game by game.
And you can use the win last night and take that into Exeter.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's another away performance. It's going to be a tough one there. We're up there in the league, but hopefully last night can give us confidence to take on to Saturday.
After a win at Grimsby Town in midweek for interim manager Jobi McAnuff, a tougher test now awaits his side in the form of Exeter City. Whilst Orient put their 7-game winless run to an end and confidence will be boosted, the Grecians are right in the playoff mix and boast a strong home record. Their 2 goal threats will likely be reunited once again as Ryan Bowman returns from a 3-game suspension. Bowman is the Grecians' top goal scorer with 12 in League 2 and will add the firepower they've missed, drawing blanks in the last 2 games. Matt J will continue to be a threat as well and boast the highest number of goal contributions in the team with 11 goals and 5 assists. Exeter's 51 goals is the highest in the league so far this year, so Orient will need to have another strong defensive display to come out on top. Further to this, they're the side in the league most likely to attack down the right-hand side, with 46% of attacks coming this way, making players like Josh Key crucial to their success. At the other end, ex-Orient centre-back Thomas Parks is serving a 3-game suspension after being sent off against Crawley Town. This saw a shift to a back 4 in their last outing, and it's likely Hartridge and McArdle will continue as the centre-back pairing. But with an eye still in the playoff spot, the O's will be keen to record back-to-back victories and climb the table.
Jobi, all good?
Yeah, all good, all good. Things have started settling down a little bit, so...
Crazy few days, I bet, isn't it?
What's that, mate?
Crazy few days, I imagine.
Yeah, the first few days were pretty hectic, obviously, with the build-up to the game and stuff, but seem to be getting ahead of things a bit now, and I say a day off today, but they're never days off anymore, unfortunately, so still a lot of planning and stuff, but yeah, first day to kind of just chill out a little bit and turn the phone off till you lot want to speak to me, of course. But
Yourself, you've obviously played under a lot of high-profile managers. I suppose you can take little bits from each of them, but who would you say you've probably learnt the most off for sort of going into the role now?
Well, really good question, and I've got to be honest, it's not just the good managers you learn from. So I've taken something from everybody, you know, good, bad, indifferent, little lessons along the way. You know, if you're talking about tactically, then certainly for me, Brendan Rodgers is a master. You know, how he sets teams up, again, the way that he wants his teams to play, possession based, but with an intensity to get after the ball, you know, press well, but also keep it well and move the ball. So he was fantastic. Ian Dowie, for me, again, the enthusiasm that he brought every day was a massive thing that I would like to certainly take on. I'm a big believer in, you know, positive energy around the place. It's not always easy, you know, especially when results aren't going well, but you really have to push that and try and keep the boys, you know, going through sometimes some not so easy times. When you're winning games regularly, it's pretty straightforward. Everything looks after itself. So again, I'm sure there'll be ups and downs and a few bumps in the road, but it's about trying to remain as level-headed as you can. But yeah, I've been lucky. Obviously Justin, the way he managed, Brian McDermott, again, a little bit more, should I say, letting people go and do their jobs and probably more of an overseer. But ultimately everybody knew who was in charge and it was his way. And that's, again, something that I will certainly try and implement in my journey.
Sure. And, obviously you've spoken so impressively in the past about issues with racism and obviously the lack of equality as well. You'll be well aware, I think, you're one of 6 now in the league in terms of Black, Asian, minority group managers. Does that bring, I guess, are you aware of that first of all, and does it bring any pressure, sort of knowing that, or is that something actually you relish?
Yeah, no, listen, I'm very, very aware of it, as you said, and as you know, it's something that is very, very important to me, as a Black player firstly, and now as a Black manager. I've spoken about the lack of opportunities that there are in the wider game. What I have to say is this football club, it's never ever been an issue. The board, the directors, they are massive on equality and giving people opportunities regardless of race, sexuality, whatever. So again, I'm fortunate because it isn't the case across the game. That is a fact, and I think the numbers prove that. So again, that is I suppose an added incentive to come in and do well. And again, if I can help in terms of the bigger issues at hand, I'll always be prepared to speak on it and share my experiences, as I go along. And again, it's very, very important and a big, big issue for me, certainly, yeah.
Yeah, we did some research this week, only sort of going back to the start of the Premier League era, but in terms of the kind of BAM candidates, I think the actual managerial stint is kind of 200 days less than compared to a white manager. I guess, is that something that will improve, naturally with more sort of managers being given the opportunity, or do you think maybe that's a bit more of a deep-rooted issue?
Yeah, I probably think I would say from my point of view, it is a bit of a deeper rooted issue. Again, I think the biggest message to come through, certainly from Black coaches, is the lack of opportunities. There's an awful lot, of Black coaches that I know that are highly qualified, highly experienced, have had the playing career that their white counterparts have had, and they are just not afforded the same opportunities, whether that be an interview, whether that be the same level of job when they get through an interview, or, as you said, probably afforded the biggest thing that any manager needs, and that's time, time in a job. But again, listen, that's across the board. I think, time in management is something that is just not afforded to anyone. But as you said, probably, when you look at the statistics for Black managers, they're certainly given less chance. And I think also when you then look at maybe the next job after the first one, then certainly they don't have enough opportunities, when that next one comes up. So again, it's something that we have to be aware of. For me, I'm hoping I can, obviously, given the time and the resources, go on and be successful.
That is all we've got time for on this week's E10 Extra, but thank you for joining us. And don't forget, this Saturday the O's are travelling to Exeter. So 1 o'clock kick-off, and the game is included for season card holders. But if you're not a season card holder, make sure you purchase your match pass over at the Orient website now. We'll see you then. Have a fantastic week, and up the O's.